What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Video Creator Show, where we talk about all things YouTube. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about what exactly the creator economy is and how you can get your piece of the pie in the creator economy and start making money too. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into today's episode. Okay, so kind of the whole reason I wanted to talk about the creator economy today is I was at this conference called Vid Summit a few weeks ago, and it seems like everything they were talking about was in the future of the creator economy and in the creator economy, and what about this in the creator economy? And for a second there, I was like, well, what exactly is the creator economy? So I guess I can define it first, and then we can kind of dive into Grant's perspective, and we're going to talk about, just bring some light, I guess, to just the opportunities that there are in the creator economy that you wouldn't really guess at first sight. So what it is it's basically the whole kind of world of being a YouTuber. So a lot of people think that it's just you, a camera, hitting record, editing your video, uploading, and then that's it. But the truth is that there's a lot of little businesses that are making money off YouTubers, not in a bad way, but by assisting YouTubers to help them grow and to help them just succeed on YouTube. And all these little things are part of this creator economy. So one kind of easy example would be like Photoshop or Adobe in general, right? They have tools that people pay money for and use to create thumbnails, to edit their videos, and all that kind of stuff. So they are definitely a large part of the creator economy. We also have like YouTube managers. We have video editing services like VidChops. We have editors. We have, thumbnail designers. We have, companies like vidIQ, TubeBuddy. We have just all the different creators themselves. And, we're going to talk about a lot more things are going to pop up as we go through this episode. But my question to you before we dive in to our listeners is, how can you find your place in the creator economy? So Grant, your place in the creator economy started off as a YouTuber, and you still create videos, but now you've actually kind of shifted a little bit into a separate role, or maybe an additional role in the creator economy. So what is that role, and how is it a part of the creator economy?
Mm-hmm. Sure. So right now, my main source of income is freelancing and helping other people build their YouTube channels. I'm kind of a one-stop shop YouTube expert. So whether that's editing, SEO, creating thumbnails, just general advice about the YouTube algorithm, all of this is what I do. And depending on the client and their needs, I will do all or one or two of those things. And generally, I find just helping people manage their channel is a big thing too. Like, how do you schedule things? How do you get through the week without wanting to pull your hair out? There's so many intricate things. Like, actually, I was literally just talking to a client right before this. He wants to turn videos around a lot faster, but the way that he's filming, he'll have like 3 different camera angles for every piece of dialogue and then take like 10 takes. And I'm like, dude, just like simplify it. Have 1, maybe 2 camera angles, do a few less takes. And so I don't know, he's kind of resisting a bit, but basically I'm here to kind of help people along, because a lot of the time people who want to start YouTube channels, they don't actually have much editing or graphic design experience. And so if you can hire somebody who actually knows how long it takes and what the repercussions of having 3 different camera angles and all these different takes for 1 piece of dialogue, like if you have that person who can kind of walk you through what that means and if it's worth it, that is very useful. So I essentially do everything. And I think the takeaway here for anybody listening is, if you don't want to be a YouTuber per se, and you're more interested in being a member of the creator economy, you can look at what aspects of creating and maintaining a YouTube channel appeal most to you. So for me, I tend to lean more on thumbnails and general management. I find with editing, I've just done so much editing that I am kind of sick of it unless the project is particularly interesting and the client is particularly easy to work with. So I would just ask yourself, if YouTube intrigues you but you don't want to run a YouTube channel, think, well, do I like graphic design? Do I like video editing? Am I kind of just more interested in SEO and learning how to market things? And if you ask yourself these questions, you can probably find pretty easily where you would fit in this new up and coming economy.
Yeah, great answer. So coaches, consultants, that is definitely a huge part of the creator economy. I mean, we've talked about it before. The crazy thing about being a YouTuber or a content creator is you got to learn a lot of things. It's not just hitting record and then hitting stop. Like, you got to learn SEO, you got to learn graphic design, video editing, you got to learn, scripting, you got to learn a lot about marketing in general and messaging, and then there's the whole part about, camera presence, and then there's the business side, because then you're starting to gain traction and you are putting out videos and you're like, okay, well, I want to go full time. Well, you better learn the business side. And when it comes to that, that's a whole nother monster in itself. I mean, do you even know how to collect payments from people? Do you know how to set up a store to sell merch, all that kind of stuff? And so, they don't teach you how to be a YouTuber in school. You can't really go in college and get a degree in being a content creator. Now, all these other little small pieces you might be able to kind of stitch together along the way. But, what a lot of people do is they reach out to a consultant or a YouTube coach to help them, or even if they're down the road maybe and they have traction, they're at 100,000 subscribers and they're growing and they want to learn more, they might hire a consultant to take them to the next level. So I think that is a great place to be in. A lot of YouTube coaches have done it for years, like yourself, Grant. Right? You've got 10 years under your belt. So if you're in year one and you're looking to get started on YouTube, or you're just kind of like slowing yourself down, then look to maybe hire a consultant or a coach. Okay, so that's one small piece. There's a lot of other pieces of the creator economy. So I'll talk a little bit about where we stand. VidChops, right? We're a video editing service. And as I was at this conference, Vid Summit, that was kind of like the main thing that kept popping up. People kept talking about, I'm ready to finally hire my first editor, or I'm getting real sick of editing. Everything's going good. I'm just sick of editing. So it was good to hear that, because I was just sitting there like, okay, I think I'm in the right industry. I think the future of VidChops is safe. I don't think that video editing is going to go away anytime soon, or the need for it. So there's another part of the creator economy is video editing. Is there any other part of the creator economy, Grant, that you can think of that you want to speak about right now? We can dive into a little bit.
Well, a big thing right now, I think, is just getting really good at producing shorts and kind of TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. That aspect of things is really bustling right now. And I think more importantly, it's not fully formed yet. I think with producing YouTube videos or kind of long form content, it's still a Wild West, but I think it's more like there's less room for innovation right now. Whereas if you can get into the shorts game, you can deliver a lot of views really quickly for people. And especially for somebody who already has some money and they're hiring, I think you can deliver on promises and goods and services more quickly, at least in terms of clout, if you are willing to go that route. So I would recommend focusing on that if you don't mind working on content like that.
Yeah, it's a good tip. And the thing I've been seeing a lot lately is more and more like YouTube Shorts agencies popping up, or just short form video content agencies where they actually just specialize in short form content. And I think that's great, right? I mean, one part of the creator economy that's new is captions, right? There's all these different captioning software apps, services, and those kind of things where, maybe 15 years ago, that was not really a huge industry, right? There was not a huge need for captions. And now all of a sudden it's like the biggest industry in the world. Like, you have to caption these short form videos and all that. So a lot of people taking advantage of that part of the creator economy and providing services for that. And yeah, I mean, I've seen people blow up due to their short form videos, and now they're short form experts and going around and giving speeches at different conferences and just offering consulting on that exact topic. So, just kind of a little bit of an off topic question, Grant, and something that we didn't really talk about too much. And probably something that maybe is not even known yet. But I look around a lot, and I haven't heard anybody talking about what is the algorithm for shorts. What do you think? What's your opinion on what the algorithm is? Because we've talked about a few of my shorts that have kind of gone viral and taken off, but I'm not sure why.
Hey there. You probably know the Video Creator Show is brought to you by VidChops.com. What is VidChops.com? Well, it is an editing service that will take the horrible burden of editing off your back. We all know video editing. It's tedious. It takes forever. But what if you had a professional who did it for you? You go to sleep, you wake up, it's done. Wouldn't that be magical? VidChops.com. Hire a professional, save yourself time and energy, and take your YouTube channel to the next level. Well, obviously, engagement and watch time is still really important for shorts. I'd say the main difference between the short algorithm and the long algorithm, you could call it, is that shorts it's more about discoverability. Like, you're more likely to make it big quickly with shorts, whereas long form content, you can build a more dedicated audience, but with shorts, it's easier to get discovered. Like, I was kind of going down a rabbit hole last night where I was watching too many of them. And I swear like 10% of the ones that the algorithm would put in front of me had like 0 likes and no views. And I think that's a good thing, ultimately. It's possible to get discovered. And that is the main cornerstone, big part of this new aspect of, social media is now there's a way where it's built into the algorithm that if you're new, you're not necessarily at a disadvantage. TikTok, I think one of the reasons it's so popular is because the organic reach is so good. And YouTube is trying to copy that, essentially. I think YouTube got kind of paranoid with the adpocalypse in 2017, where it seemed like after that, it became a lot harder to blow up, like to go from 0 to 100,000. And I don't think that's a coincidence. They were worried about some tiny hateful channel suddenly accumulating all of the hateful people in the world very quickly. And I think with shorts, I'm guessing it's easier for them to kind of scrub that content and to figure out like what is in it using algorithms because the videos are so short. So I think just because of the nature of it, discoverability is a lot easier.
Yeah, it is. It's a great way for new creators to kind of get a jump start is through their shorts. I could have sworn over the weekend that the shorts algorithm was broken on YouTube or something, because I kept getting these weird videos in my shorts feed with like some trending song, and it's a bunch of kids talking about like their political views. Have you ran across any of those ones with the song playing? They're singing the song, and then there's like these in text, their political views on like, I don't know, abortion and those kind of things are popping on the screen. Did you run into those over the weekend?
I didn't run into those specifically. I did know one big change that happened, and this is pretty huge for shorts, and I guess we're kind of getting off topic here, but just real quick, because it's so exciting. One of the reasons to not post short form content is because they would clutter up your channel page. YouTube finally fixed that, so now your channel page doesn't have to look hideous if you want to embrace this new form of organic marketing. So props to YouTube, they did it.
They gave another tab, right, that you can click on.
They did. Yeah, they separated it into a separate tab. Thank God.
Yeah, that was actually a really smart move, and I'm sure they were planning on doing that for a while. But with these big companies, it takes time to make moves and make changes. Right. Okay, so back to the creator economy a little bit. We talked about captions and stuff, but I want to talk about software, because when you think about the creator economy, you think of vidIQ, TubeBuddy. These are tools that allow you to find keywords and do all kinds of competitor analysis and stuff like that. They're specifically for YouTube mostly. But other kinds of software as well that aren't tailored towards YouTube essentially are a part of the creator economy. Like one comes to mind is Asana. It's a project management system that allows you to manage all your projects, and your team can be on there, and you can kind of asynchronously manage your projects. So, Grant, do you use any kind of project management tools?
The main one I use, because I'm freelancing and have a lot of one-off clients of just consulting, I just use Calendly. So, and that streamlines things a lot. It's like, hey, I have a set schedule of when I'm available. I send them the link. I tell them how long it's going to take, and they can just schedule that. So, but if I am working with somebody, it's generally I use Asana a little bit working with you. But personally, I have not used a tool like that yet, though, I'm always down to get more organized. So I guess, like, what is the advantage of a tool like Asana? Obviously, it's kind of a workflow manager. You can generate tickets and have schedules, and everybody who is involved in the project can kind of like contribute to the ticket and say what they've done, what they haven't done. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward, but is there anything, I guess, less obvious that I'm missing here?
No, I wouldn't say there is. It's just it's kind of a workflow system, right? To where you can, a lot of people will start off by just creating a bunch of projects in their Asana that are video topics, right? So that's the step one, and then they'll take one of them maybe and move into the next one where it's scripting, and now they're gonna write that script. Once that script's done, they'll move it to ready to record, and so they can kind of just keep track. And like, let's say today they're not feeling like recording, they're just gonna go work on coming up with more topics. They're just filling that up and moving ones along the timeline from scripting to recording to editing to thumbnail to title, that kind of thing. So, it's Asana's one of them. Trello's another. Monday.com. There's so many out there. ClickUp. But all of these, I think, are definitely maybe not directly a part of the creator economy, but people are using them. And, you go to these conferences and you'll see companies like that sponsoring these conferences. So they are definitely looking to get signups and stuff like that from YouTubers. And that's a good thing to do, is like at these conferences, right? Look around, who's sponsoring. Whoever's sponsoring, you are part of this creator economy. Like maybe a different example is at the conference, there was a microphone company where all they do is make microphones. I got it near me right here. It's called, I guess, Deity, or it's kind of backwards, but
Deity.
Deity. Have you heard of them before?
I have not.
Okay. They're basically kind of like, well, they're kind of like a Rode microphone company. I think a little bit newer, but they're part of this creator economy. I ordered a microphone from them yesterday. It's supposed to be like the Shure knockoff. I think the Shure is kind of like the most common podcasting mic you see. It's like the black one that people talk directly into. I've always wanted one of those. They're about $400. You also need to buy an audio interface that they plug into. That's going to cost you even more money, make it more complicated. So when I was there, I asked them, I said, what is your like comparable to that microphone? And they showed, it could be this one. And I was like, okay, now how much is the audio interface? Like, no, it's USB. You can plug it directly from your USB into your computer. And the price point on there was $170. So yeah, I actually bought one, like I said, yesterday. We'll test it out maybe next week. And, but they are part of the creator economy. So when we're talking about the creator economy, I'm talking super fast today. The coffee's kicking in. We're talking about all things related. And so as you're sitting here listening to this, hopefully your juices are flowing a little bit in your brain, and you're starting to think, okay, well, maybe I don't need to be a YouTuber to be a part of this great, industry. What can you do? What can you do? We talked about editing, but there is even some people making full-time incomes on being just title experts. And you can ask them, what do you think about my thumbnail? And they're like, oh, it's pretty good, but I'm not a thumbnail guy. I'm a title expert. So you can really niche down and kind of find what gets you most excited about content creation, and kind of put up a website and get a buy now button on there and launch your business. Okay, so Grant, what are some other things that might have popped into your mind as part of the creator economy?
I mean, the biggest thing is just making a freelance profile, or essentially having your own personal brand. So obviously, instead of becoming a YouTuber, you become the guy who knows how to build YouTube channels and who knows how to market. And I have an Upwork profile. You can make a Fiverr profile. Obviously, LinkedIn is one, and there's a lot of other ones. So I think the the main thing is just having a page available where people can find your services, and you can kind of plug into an ecosystem on Upwork or something, get invites to interview, find people, and I think it's really just about getting started. And if you're willing to edit videos for like 20 an hour, and you're a total beginner, like you can work your way in and just get acquainted with some clients. And then what you're probably going to find is a lot of clients, if you're beginning. So let's say you become their editor, you're not making a ton of money, but you're kind of getting by. What you're probably going to find is at some point they're going to feel like they're spending too much time on this channel. They want to focus on the fun parts of YouTube. They didn't get into YouTube to do all the boring work, so that's what they're hiring you to do. So the more you can kind of expand your skill set, the better. I think editing is probably the best because it's so important. It can be kind of tedious. I mean, I did it almost not full time, but it was probably half of the work that I did for a full time job or as a full time YouTuber. So if you can do that, you can work your way into several different clients and then kind of slowly grow your horizons of what you do for them, and get paid to learn, essentially. Like obviously you should, there's plenty of Google courses available where you can kind of learn how to do SEO. But at the end of the day, I think it's just about, if you can gain someone's trust by offering value to them with video editing or something like that, and then kind of get better at thumbnails, then that's how you can kind of work your way in and become an essential member of the economy here. You can even if what you'll probably find is at some point, if you're working for somebody, they'll be like, okay, video's coming together, but we don't have a thumbnail yet. So you could kind of whip one up in Canva or something like that, and just say, hey, what do you think of this thumbnail? And then they're like, oh, wow, you're pretty good at thumbnails. And then, bam, you got a new gig for the same client. So I'd say just, you can kind of slowly, I'd say the nice thing about this type of economy versus having a more standard job is your job is so malleable. Like you can pick up and drop clients fairly easily. You can suddenly do different work or new work for the same clients very quickly. Like from one week to another, you might have a pretty different job even though you're working for the same person. So just keep in mind that the more skills you have, there's a lot of tangential aspects to all of this, and everybody's always looking to grow. So if you suddenly gain a new skill, you can offer that to somebody you're already working for. And then if you're working for 3 people, you can offer 3 people that same skill that you just learned. So you can really organically build your business, your personal brand, whatever you want to call it, just based off of knowledge that you accumulate. And I find that really nice. I think it keeps things interesting, especially for a guy like me. If you're somebody who gets bored doing the same thing over and over and over again, then you can kind of like, oh, well, what if I took a bunch of online classes and learned new things, and then just kind of expanded into that, and then sort of became more like, instead of being in the trenches of video editing, now you can kind of help your clients manage a different editor. It's like, hey, how about I look at the revisions and take all this off your plate, and you can just kind of look at the final product and offer like a final round of revisions. So now you've kind of offloaded video editing, and you can really change your career quite on the fly, I have found.
Yeah, and I think with those kind of jobs, it's like, you're not going to have any major success until your clients have major success. And then you kind of piggyback your way off that. There's a lot of YouTube coaches out there that don't even have 100,000 subscribers yet, and on their own channels, and they're getting tons of people signing up with them and stuff. And you would say to yourself, well, he's an imposter. He's telling people you can get him views when he doesn't even have views. Well, on his channel, how can he do that? Well, it's because he delivers client success, right? His clients are growing. His clients are are succeeding. And that's kind of what is used in all the case studies and the reason that people sign up. So, and if you feel like you have no experience, you're not really there yet, or you don't have the knowledge, I think that information that you gave was great about, well, you can always start as an editor, right? And then that's kind of like, or as a thumbnail designer, or any of these tasks that people don't want to do, even just writing scripts. And then as you learn more and as your clients start to get more success, and then you can, start charging maybe higher ticket for guaranteed to grow on YouTube, stuff like that, which is hard to offer. But a lot of people who've been in the game a long time, their clients really do succeed because, they do all the stuff that we talk about on this podcast, right? They help people with their hooks. They help people get better watch time on their videos and all that kind of stuff, which really will get you results on YouTube. So plenty of space in the consultant coaching realm and the services realm of the creator economy. But you did mention one thing a second ago, which is not a consultant or a coach, and that's Canva, right? Canva, huge part of the creator economy, a multi-billion-dollar business now, which to me, it seems like it was like perfect timing with a great app. It was a great app. It was perfect timing. YouTube's blowing up. All of a sudden now thumbnails are like the most important thing ever. And here comes Canva delivering exactly what you need to create great thumbnails. So the creator economy has, if you have an idea like that, right? Like I always try to think of ideas on how can we make VidChops better by adding software to it, or how can we add coaching or consulting to VidChops to make it better. And so I'm always thinking of tools, of software tools. Have you ever thought of a tool, Grant, or been like, this should exist, but you're just like, you know what, I'm not going to get into that. That's not kind of my journey right now.
The biggest one is just an AI video editor. So just being able to upload a bunch of clips or sound bites, or you upload, say, some voiceover and some music. And you kind of input the genre of the music, and the AI reads the words that you're saying, and then can kind of pull from a stock footage library and kind of just throw something together into the editing timeline according to whatever it is you're saying. So if you're talking about butterflies for 10 seconds, then it could throw a couple stock videos of butterflies. Something like that, I think, would be incredibly valuable. I think there's a lot of tedious editing that it gets done that doesn't necessarily need to get done. You could probably have a robot do 80% of it, 90% of it, and then touch it up with a person. It's weird. I've talked about this in a previous episode, but I remember in 2006, I was in middle school. My computer came with AI editing software. You could put in a song and clips and stuff, and it would kind of just throw a bunch of stuff together. And it was actually pretty good. I don't know where it went. I've kind of looked it up. I've tried to find things. Nothing has really stood out to me. I know there's limited versions of it, but yeah, that thing just doesn't really exist yet, at least that I can tell, and I haven't heard about it. So maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, I think AI video editing would be huge.
Yeah, and I think we're definitely going to see that starting to happen here very, very close to now. There already exists software that can jump cut your entire video and remove all the pauses, and it does a pretty good job at it. For me, when it comes to video editing with AI, I wish that it would automatically add sound effects wherever there was you added a transition, right? So a lot of times people like to use these swipe transitions, and a lot of times you use or some kind of sound effect that goes with it. And a lot of times you got to click and drag out your sound effect, drop it right next to the transition and line it up. And, I feel like there should be, you could create a template and then just hit go, and then it'll automatically add all the transitions where you want them, all that kind of stuff. So I agree. And I think it's coming. One thing that I think is coming soon is video editing, and it already is here, but I think it's going to be big, is video editing in the browser. Everything is in the browser nowadays. It's also known as in the cloud, right? People say it's in the cloud. Well, that's because all the computing is not being done on your computer. It's being done in the cloud. And the reason I think that video editing in the browser would be so cool is because a lot of people's computers can't really handle video editing, right? You got to have so much RAM, you got to have a good processor. And if you have everything just edited in the cloud, then that will give you a chance to kind of not have as great of a computer and still get a great edit. And yeah, it could be cheaper. You don't need to download, install anything. And like I said in a previous episode, there is one right now that will actually do a really good job at removing your background from your video. Like if you do it in like Premiere or Final Cut, you have to mask out your body a lot of times, and it doesn't really look that great afterwards anyways. But this new one, I've been seeing a lot of people using it lately in their YouTube videos. It could be a Premiere plugin or something that I'm just missing, but yeah, that's a cool one there. Okay, let's go back to the creator economy. What else is part? I'm just trying to dig as deep as I can and think as abstract as I can. What else, Grant, pops into your head as part of the creator economy?
I mean, so besides just being a YouTuber or just shit posting as much content as humanly possible, which I think is legitimate, by the way. If you're going to do shorts, you could post anything, post 7 shorts a day about, you eating oatmeal, and then you're eating blueberries, and then you're going for a walk, then you're filling up your gas tank. That could be a legitimate avenue. You're the guy who films everything, posts everything. You become a living meme. You could be the creator of the creator economy. But besides that, I think just this isn't really. I would say going into marketing is a big one. So.
Yeah.
Not just organic marketing. I think we've kind of covered that with shorts and titles and stuff, but paid marketing, ad campaigns. Yeah. This is kind of a weird one too. So I've worked with some clients on this, and there's a lot of ways to do it wrong, which is funny, right? You would think the worst thing that happens with a paid ad campaign is that you lose money. But actually, it can be a lot worse than that. So if you can figure out how to do paid ad campaigns, you can help people avoid pitfalls. So I'll give you the kind of worst case scenario that I've seen for quite a few people, actually. By the time they've hired me, it's already happened. So what they'll do is they'll make some video, and it will be a good video. They maybe paid a lot of money to make it. And then they're like, well, I want people to see it. So what they'll do is they'll take that video and they'll run it as an advertisement on YouTube, like just to get it in front of people. So, when you watch a video and there's the kind of skippable ad in front of it, you can have one of your videos play as that ad. So technically that gets the video a view. But what that can do is kill your video's watch time. And in fact, that's exactly what happens. So what I always recommend people do is don't run one of your videos as an ad. You should make a trailer for your channel, a really catchy trailer. Like, if you're making, like I have a client, he makes videos about sustainable businesses, and he'll like travel to a coffee collective, and everything they have is they're going carbon neutral by 2023, and they're all very cool, good people, and the whole video is kind of about them. So what I recommended that he do is create a trailer for his channel. Run that as an advertisement, and then when people click on your trailer, then it will take them to your channel. It won't take them to the video. It'll just, that way people can see your channel page. They can see, do I want to engage? Do I not want to engage? And then you kind of filter out the people who aren't that interested anyway. And you don't kill the watch time on any one of your particular videos, which is very important. You don't want to spend 30 hours on a video and then kill it by accident. So ad campaigns, doing them correctly, you can make channel trailers for people. They can run those as ads. You can, do Facebook marketing campaigns for a YouTube channel. And again, you always want to have the channel itself advertised. You don't want to have a video advertised. So really just kind of getting a channel out there and learning how to use certain keywords and how to design Facebook ad campaigns, YouTube ad campaigns, Google ad campaigns, and just this is something I'm just starting to learn to do. YouTube ads I know how to do, but as far as other platforms, that's where I think that's another aspect of things that I'm just starting to dip my toes into. Like literally, I'm going to be taking my first class in things like this week.
Nice. That's a great idea, man. Those are very like high leverage skills, right? Like you can run ads for a company, maybe not a creator, but if let's say you're running ads for a company and you're driving, throughout the year $1 million in sales for them, you're offering a lot of value. You can charge a little bit more, right, with that service. So that's a great one. Just to kind of continue diving deeper into the economy, like one thing that popped into my head for what is part of the creator economy is all the tech that we use, right? All the cameras. We already talked about microphones, all the little gadgets like CamLink, which I'm using to link my mirrorless camera as my webcam to my computer. I'm using something called CamLink. They're part of the creator economy. They're out there probably sponsoring events, running ads to YouTubers, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's a great place to be too, right? You can be a tech review guy, throw up a tech channel, start pitching these different tech products through affiliate links, and making money that way. And or you can work for Canon, you can work for the microphone company, and go to events and be a part of the economy that way too. Be a liaison, I guess you could say, for the company. I think that the whole creator economy, you don't want to think of it just as YouTube. You want to kind of think of it as social media. You might be a social media manager. You might be, and even deeper than that, you might, just think of it as online business, right? Anybody that has an online business could technically be a part of this creator economy as they're, sponsoring different YouTube videos. They're a part of it as they're doing whatever. The whole point here is that you don't have to just be a YouTuber content creator. You can still be a part. It kind of like what Grant and I are doing exactly is we're not making our full-time income off our YouTube videos anymore. We're making it through other ways, although we are still part of this economy and we are still getting to do what we love, which is YouTube. So, maybe you're listening to this, you're a little discouraged with where your channel sits, with the views you're getting, the subscribers you're getting. Start thinking a little bit outside the box. How else can you, be in touch? Because I've seen a lot of people do this. When I go to these conferences, I'll see people there at all these different conferences. It's the same people over and over again. They're great people. Their YouTube channels are not huge, maybe 1,000 subscribers, yet they're getting kind of live their dream out. They're meeting all these YouTubers. They're rubbing elbows with the who's who in the industry. And I think they really enjoy their life, even though they're not blowing up on YouTube. So that's kind of my piece of advice is, there's opportunities out there besides just being the face in front of the camera. And if you are the face in front of the camera, then look around in this economy and see, where the opportunities are for you to make money through partnerships with these other companies or through affiliates, or just, how you can make your job easier by using these different services. So that's what I got to say. Grant, any final words from you?
Yeah, just to piggyback off you. Like, if you are someone with a YouTube channel and you're frustrated at your lack of success and you have at least a little disposable income, consider hiring somebody who knows more than you do. The chances are they're going to be able to find something that you are doing wrong and that you can improve, even if it's like a one-time consultation, or you meet with them, once every 3 months, and they just sort of keep you in check and they're like a professional criticizer, essentially. They can show you what you're doing wrong, your inefficiencies, your weak points, and just don't be afraid to spend money to, in the long run, make money. Hire an expert. And then, just, again, if you're somebody who kind of wants to be involved with YouTube but don't really like being on camera or in front of a microphone. One of my buddies is like that, and he's been a part of this economy for like 10 years now. You can do that. That is totally valid. Just work your way in and figure out, what do I like about the process here? Do I like editing? Do I like making graphic design things, so thumbnails? Or or logos, YouTube banners. There's so many different aspects that you can get involved in. Maybe it's just the marketing. Maybe you're a marketing guy. Just learn about that and find your niche and own it. And then you can always expand further from there. It's never been easier to not pigeonhole yourself. So keep that in mind.
I think that's some great advice. So, all right, everybody, thank you guys so much for listening or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, you can follow us there as well. We're looking to get some 5-star ratings on iTunes to help us out. So you can go to videocreator.co/iTunes. That'll take you to our iTunes. That's Video Creator, no E at the end there, and creator.co/iTunes. Leave us a 5-star review. We read them all. We greatly appreciate it. And with that said, until next time, you guys all have a great day, and we will catch you in the next episode.